what is the reason why we're here right now in this historical moment, in this Friday afternoon? Ah, I love you, Carolina. To love, to love, to be love. And love is going to change everything. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I love it, Iselin. To connect. You know that was so beautiful that to connect was one of the answers that was most populated in the survey that I sent you. That makes me so happy and excited that we say it for each other as women. The world is changing and it needs female power energy. This is the thesis of today, and this is what we're going to be doing today. The world is changing and we need to reawaken the feminine. This is what we need. Fanny, she says again to connect. I love Jessie to understand. That was another of the common answers that we have, that we need to understand what's going on. And my presentation is about that. It's based a lot on understanding. This is what we're doing today. Oh, that's so fantastic. I love your answer, Kelly. My intuition guided me. Oh, that's so beautiful. Alessandra, female energy. Oh, we're all in alignment. I'm really happy, really, really happy to see this alignment. And I go directly to the agenda. We are going to have 3 points. Number one is what is so special about now? And number two is which is the story that we are living? And this is personal, but also quite global because we are mirrors of each other. So if you think that you're alone in the story that you're living, let me tell you, don't worry, we are with you. We're living the same story together as women. They are the four stories that limit us as women. Number three is I want to share with you what is the blueprint that I am personally using to rewrite these four stories that we are all living. So let me give you like a warning. I can talk about every single point that we are going to talk here at length, maybe for each point for 1 year. So this is going to be like a little appetizer of everything that we're going to talk about. And there is so much depth and layers and knowledge, understanding, embodiment, and feelings about what I want to talk about. And we just have 90 minutes. So I hope that we reach the level of understanding, of planting a seed for you to go deeper. This is a work not of the masculine and going up, but of the feminine, of diving deep down. And my intention is that it's nourishing this presentation for you. So let's go into first answer, why now? You know that I have a business background and an IT background. So I could go and tell you about the cycles of the financial cycles of the world. But I said, no, I want to do it something completely different. This year, I started my studies in astrology, and I've been learning that we live in a clock, the clock of God, of cycles that repeat for centuries or for decades. And right now, there is a big cycle happening. This is based on the work of S.J. Anderson in a video that is amazing. I'm going to link it for you in the description of when this becomes a video. I will link it there. And basically, the thesis is that we are living a wonderful opportunity in our lifetime. In these 18 months, everything is going to change. And you see it as you open the newspaper, what are the drums of war so loud, and why the AI is growing, and left, right, and center. The three things: society is changing, entrepreneurship is changing, government is changing, art is changing, we are changing profoundly. So I'm going to show to you, and you have in your handout for a little matrix of four, a table of four. That is where you are going to write periods of your life in which this happened before. Because, of course, if we're talking about the clock, this happened before. And you can contrast it so that you can learn, what could be the change for me now? So in changes on how I set my boundaries, how I value my life, how I communicate and relate to others. Those are changes that are really quite fundamental. So this one is not, you don't need to write anything about because you were not alive then. So from 1912 to 1920s, that was World War I, the end of the empires. So big change. At the beginning, we all wore long dresses. At the end, we were sniffing white powder and having short dresses. So big change out there, the end of the empires. This one, I didn't even put images because it was so gigantic. We have World War II, we want the birth of the UN, the World Bank, the IMF, Pax Americana. Is a gigantic change. Music changes, fashion changes, technology changes. It's just borders of countries change. It's gigantic changes. The next one is in the late 50s, and the big change is, well, again, technology and fashion changes, and the way I see the more clear, the clearest is from black and white to full color. We go from silent movies to Marilyn Monroe. Really a dramatic change. And now you will know how old I am. I was born in 1970. So for the people who were born around 1970, who are here, that will be in the framework where you have the number one. So I put here in yellow, I was born. I was born and the computers were born, the television was born. It was the age of technology was coming up, the technology in our houses. My parents had a black and white television. They were the first computers, those ones of the big rooms. So what was happening in your life? Maybe some of you were not born yet. Next one, the end of communism, the fall of the Berlin Wall, the end of this kind of control. And then for me, that was gigantic. I was born in the time my father had a lot of money and we had cleaners and gardeners. And my parents divorced, so that meant that I became a cleaner. So it was a gigantic change in this moment. It was before and after. Then it was this period that is the number 3. Yeah, that's number 3. That was when internet starts becoming available everywhere. We're starting to have email, the movie of The Matrix come. That is the time of 9/11. For me, was also a gigantic change. That was a change from moving from Mexico to the Netherlands. It's like, for me, it's mind-blowing. How is it possible that it's just so precise for me, for my life? So start asking yourself what happened at that time, because all of you were alive in this one, 95, 2003. What was happening? And think it subtlety, because around this time, the other thing that happened is that I started being interested in art. I started visiting all the museums of art all over the world. So just look at the subtleties. This one is informing you of how you're going to change now, because it's like a spiral. 2008, 2012, the global financial crisis, the mobile phone became the thing. Mobile phones 2012, that was the moment when it really solidified. For me, this was just like a huge change. That was when my life just completely crumbled. I lost my job, I lost my boyfriend, I had nothing at some point. And not only I had nothing, I wanted not to have anything. I started just giving away my property. I started giving away my clothes. I started just cleansing everything. I went to silent retreats. I started doing healing. It was just big. That's when I met my husband. That's when I got pregnant. Uh, uh, so this one is very important to you guys. This one is the last time that you went through such a transformation that you are going through right now, that we are going through as humanity. So we are not alone. It's just the fact that you are courageous enough to see it. So I want to ask you again then, why are we here now? What is what now with this nuance, this historical nuance? What would you say that is your reason? And maybe you could share it uh, in the comments, because I know that some of you are already to this purpose, but some of you still don't know what the purpose is. So maybe you can, maybe you cannot answer this question. Just uh, give it a try if you are inspired. My why right now, why I'm here now, is for this, is for holding the space of women to remember these, remember who they are, to remember. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I think, Isaline, you're talking for all of us. We are all here to step into our power and make choices from the inside out. Instead of being adrift that society tells us what we should be doing, it's time for feminine sovereignty. It's time that we say what is in the agenda. Yeah. Oh, I love it. To shed light on the lies that still hold me back. Yes. This is the work, to shed light on the darkness, to dare to look at the dragon. Yeah, beautiful. Connecting with people to themselves, and by that to others. And I really like that you're saying that you think you're living your purpose. Some of us are living our purpose, but we are going to be upgraded. We're going to ask to go deeper. And the ones that are still looking for the purpose, you're going to be guided as well. It's just none of us are going to be the same in a year and a half, I tell you. Collective healing, yes. Oh, yes. As we do our inner healing, we create ripple effects, and we are holding the space for others. Yes, yes, yes. Finding purpose by understanding own identity better. Yes. To learn to listen to self, to creatively co-create and change. This is what we're here. And it's very beautiful because you talk for yourself, but you talk for every single person in the planet. I like to see it a little bit like that. It's like we were in a video game, and the rectangle on the left is where we were, and the rectangle on the top right is where we will be. And we are in this transition moment in which we are just so limited by the small old square or rectangle, and we don't know how to be in the next one. And sometimes it doesn't even feel clear of what the next one is. But what I can tell you is that is happening no matter what. And you have the wind behind your back. What I can tell you already that is for you is that you are here because and it's going to go really well for you because you are committed to do this inner work. So the more will be given to you. But the more you commit to your spiritual journey, more is going to come back to you. The more in denial you are and you stay in the materialism, the more it's going to be taken out from you. And I'm talking to you emotionally and spiritually and quite likely materially. I just see people getting ill and getting divorced, and I see people blooming and growing their business. It depends on the inner health, and this is what we're going to be talking about. So it works like this. Ah, it works like this. We are in a moment of getting really real, getting really real of what needs to die. What needs to die is the stories that I'm going to share with you now. What needs to die is our beliefs that have been keeping us small, the beliefs that have been inherited by our mothers, grandmothers, that our female lineage has given us, that society keeps giving us. And we need to remember really who we are. How I like to see it is like the Matrix, like Nemo, that we need to remember who we are. And in this moment, we will not be afraid of these beliefs. We don't even need to run away because we can say, hey, I know you. I know who you are, and you are nothing else but an illusion. And these are the illusions that we're going to be talking about right now. And I believe deeply that this is the time for people who are ready to listen to this to make that transformation. So I want to now get ready for the 4 stories, and that is where we're going to use the framework that you have afterwards.